What is your leadership style? Can you give me a few examples of this in action?
Yeah, my leadership style would be a democratic style where I would collaboratively work with my fellow coworkers, um, ranging from any doctors, nurses, CNAs, just to kind of tackle it as a team instead of and hearing everybody's voice out um, and coming up with a solution.
Okay. Next question is, tell me a time when you faced conflict or disagreed with a coworker or leader.
Uh, I would say a conflict that I've had with a coworker or leader would be um, I had a manager who would delegate a lot of tasks um, that I thought was not in my scope of practice. So I would um, had actually asked if I could have a conversation with them. Um, we all talked amongst ourselves, and I let her know how I felt, and then she went ahead and um, understood what I was saying, and she um, pretty much took that into account what I had to say and uh, started to not delegate those tasks that I thought that were not within my scope of practice.
Okay. Tell me a time when you were faced with a problem and successfully solved it.
I would say the time that I successfully solved a problem would be I had a patient, we had a patient who had um, my nurse who had difficulty inserting a Foley catheter. Um, they had 3 or 4 nurses go out there with unsuccessful attempts. Um, so I know I had a lot of experience with inserting Foley catheters, and I was pretty good at it. They gave me the nickname uh, Foley Whisperer. So I had went out and assessed the patient to go see what's going on. Um, and then I went ahead and attempted to insert the Foley catheter. And of course, without any hiccups or anything like that, I was able to insert the Foley. So I would say that would be a time I solved the problem.
Okay, great. Tell me a time you faced a staffing shortage, either from a leadership or employee situation, and what were your actions related to being understaffed?
So we face staffing shortage quite a bit. I've experienced with that, with me being a intake coordinator for my current hospice. Um, we at times have call offs, and we would be short for having any nurses to do any admissions for us. So I would collaborate with our scheduler to go over our nurses' schedules who are seeing patients out in the field and to see if they can move those patients around and possibly do like a missed visit if they were pretty stable in order for us to make room and see our patients who needed to be admitted to our services. Um, so I think that would be a time I faced a staffing shortage.
Okay. What is your strategy to retain employees and maintain morale on the unit? And how do you offer feedback to employees?
How to keep morale? I've always tried to keep morale with my current team, whether it be just team building on the unit or in the office, and collaborating with them and seeing what works for us and what doesn't work for us. I think it's just trying to create that environment where like to enjoy, um, and plus keeping a open door policy and having my team come out and um, being able to speak with me or anyone else if they had any concerns. Um, So yeah.
Okay. Give an example of how you embrace cultural differences and diversity in your team.
I'm a person who doesn't really see color. With us being in healthcare and with me working in healthcare for X amount of years, we've come across many people with many different backgrounds. Um, there may be hiccups where there might be a language barrier, or we have patients sometimes who don't like male nurses because it's just within their culture. And of course, just respecting um, their cultural beliefs and making sure that we honor it.
How would you approach an underperforming employee?
The way I would approach an underperforming employee would be, of course, just calling that person aside or into the office, a safe place, just to talk about what I have been seeing in regards to him underperforming. Of course, we want to have specifics so we can correlate what we can fix right there at that moment. But also, we have to listen to what that person is going through because they may be going through personal issues or personal issues with another coworker. A lot of factors, uh, a lot of factors play out. But basically, for me, just listening and trying to come up with a solution with anybody would be my approach.
Okay. How would you approach an angry client?
Uh, I had many clients who were angry. Um, First off, of course, we just want to remain calm and collective. Um, go into the patient's room, have a conversation with them, but provide active listening because majority of the time they just want to vent and be heard. And by doing that, we can come up with a solution together and hopefully bring down his de-escalate what he's going through, and hopefully we can, like I said, come up with a solution.
Okay. How do you commit to professional development? Provide an example.
The way I would uh, promote professional development would be actively going to seminars or webinars um, just to learn about different things because things are always changing within healthcare. States change their regulations, so we always have to be up to date. Um, Going on the Medicare website, subscribe to the bulletins that you can get the information from. Also, by attending in services or holding in services so we can um, better ourselves.
Okay. And the last question is, what would you do if you were presented with a process improvement project with ambiguous directions?
I would approach it by getting clarification uh, from my clinical director or manager to kind of go over exactly what I would need to do. Um, and if I get stuck on something in regards to the situation, um, I would, of course, ask them and collaborate with them as well, and to come up with the solution.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.